Everybody know what to do when everything goes right. Everybody know to show up and give everything they got when the sun shines. Everybody, when they get what they want, they're gonna come and they're gonna be great. But there's very few people that reach deep down and got the character that in the midst of opposition, in the midst of a challenge, to look at it with the right perspective, and not only look at it with the right perspective, process it the right way, and figure out a way to use it.
What is it that will make it worth it for you when you want to give up and things are working against you, to face the rejections? What is it that will make it worth it for you to brainstorm and not be intimidated and say, I can do this? What is it that will make it worth it for you to know your vitamin, that you become empowered by it? What is it that will make it worth it for you to raise the bar on yourself and say, I got some more stuff in me, when you want to keep driving past the office because of the stress? What is it that will help you get back up again?
Some of us choose to stay down, but it's that motherfucker who constantly gets up as fast as they can. Those are the motherfuckers that make it in life.
All you do is you fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again. That's how you win.
You've got to activate the thinker in you. Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional, but you...
Yeah, bro, I got a deal right now.
They will use you. You want to monitor your inner conversations, the things that you say to yourself. You want to watch them, and in watching them, you want to take charge. Oh, you really don't feel like it. You really don't need to do it. Forget all that. That's that inner conversation. Oh, you don't need to worry about trying to go into your own business. Forget that. You can't do that. What if you lose everything you've got? That inner conversation that stopped you from doing the things you want to do less, don't do that.
Bro, keep calling, man. Keep calling. Keep calling, man. I got a deal right now I'm working on for we went and seen the house right now. We just need to know how much the seller want for it. And I'm getting ready to call her right now. I'm getting ready to call her right now.
Tell you you're tired when you really are not tired. It will tell you you can't do it. It will fill you with fear.
19 years old, man. I'm just grinding, you feel me?
Stand up to it and say, I'm going to do this anyhow. I'm afraid, but I'm afraid not to do it. And I'm not going to let you stop me. You got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up. Some people you will allow to unnerve you. You can't do this. You don't have everything it takes. Shut up. I have got to do it. That's why you've got to learn to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to stand up inside yourself, working on yourself, watching that inner dialogue. It will determine the quality of your life. The biggest challenge that you will have in life is you. There's no enemy within. The enemy outside can do us no harm. You've got to sell yourself every day.
All right, let's go.
On your abilities, on what you're doing, on the goal that you want to reach. You're bombarded with negative stuff every day that beats you down, and you will find yourself unconsciously engaged in self-destructive behavior. If you don't program yourself, life will program you.
Don't complain. Don't talk negative. Average people use their time to complain. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions.
Live your life with passion, with some drive. Decide that you're going to push yourself. You want to live life with energy and passion. You want to be happy. You got a lot to be thankful for. Most people won't do that. Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit.
You gotta get this beast mode. Everything about you has to say, I ain't playing. If it's to have, I'm gonna get it. And I ain't leaving none of it behind. It's mine. Beast mode. If you wanna get your butt out to bed, grind from...
Oh, wait a minute. So this house needs a new AC unit.
We end up intoxicated with them to the point of disillusion.
Your future is never predicated on what you lost. It's predicated on what you have left.
Most people never dare to evaluate really where they are. And you gotta know where you are before you can really determine your chances of getting what you really want.
So St. Louis, so
there are many more ways to fail than to succeed. For a rocket, there's like 1,000 ways to think and fail, and like one way it can work.
It's hard for people to be themselves. They don't like themselves. They don't like what they are, so they like to pretend that there's something more exceptional.
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not to who someone else is today.
Okay, so look, basically this property, all right, that we went to go see today, the furnace goes out sometimes, and so that means we're gonna have to replace that once we buy it. Sometimes so we're gonna have to put in a new furnace because her furnace goes in and out sometimes. So that's gonna be about a 5K repair, probably about 3,000 for the furnace and about 2,000 for the labor. Maybe that's what we're thinking. That's about a 5K repair. And a sink leakage, that's about $200 repair. All right, let's call Miss Mary. Let's see what Miss Mary doing. Hello, how you doing, Miss Mary?
I'm okay. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. I was just reaching out to you to let you know we did get to go out and see the property in East St. Louis, and we seen that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Okay, she told me that they came out. That, I guess it was Ariel.
Yeah, L'Ariel. Yep. That's my girl. I had her go out, and she said that the property actually was in good condition. There was just some questions we have for you. One thing we do know that we are gonna have to, if we were to purchase this property from you, we will have to put in a new furnace, right? The tenant said that sometimes the furnace goes in and out, and that maybe that is.
No, I don't know why the tenant would have told you that. Last week she had problems, and the week prior she had problems. But and both times I sent my electrician out. So this last time he told them that that's not a problem with the furnace. It's with Ameren UE.
Air.
Well, you know, with the gas company. So we called the gas company.
Okay.
Had a something faulty with it, and they repaired it.
Oh, okay. A faulty.
It had something with the line.
Okay.
And they came out. Ameren came out and fixed it.
Aaron.
They didn't charge me anything. So.
Aaron came out and okay. That's perfect. So it had a faulty gas line.
You're dealing with a house that you've had for a while, so some things might have to be updated, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Right now, the furnace is working fine now.
Yeah, we were just saying the furnace. So just to be clear, Aaron came, and Aaron is a furnace company. Furnace.
Ameren, who is it's called Spire in Illinois too.
In Illinois.
Is it Ameren in Illinois?
I'm
making sure that I'm not giving you. I think it's Ameren over in Illinois.
Aaron.
Said Ameren came out.
Aaron, A-R-A. Aaron UE. Okay. I'm looking at. I'm in front of my computer right now. Aaron. Okay, yeah, we'll get that figured out. You said they came and repaired the gas line and everything is good. And you said they came in.
They came out last week.
Oh, last week. Oh yeah, if you have a report, that would be great. That would, yeah. And they fixed it. It was a problem with their line, and they fixed it. They came out and fixed it. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, we had just thought that maybe the gas valve. Okay. Came out and replaced it. Okay, perfect, perfect. Yep. Other than that, we had just had a question. Only thing, other thing, about that property that was the concern from us was the leak under the sink, and that's an easy $200 fix. We can get that fixed ASAP for her. There was a slight leak under the kitchen sink. Yeah. Oh yeah, we just it's those are little things that when we go out and inspect, we just look at everything. We I just wanted to be transparent with you, and let you know. But okay, yeah, we like the property. And I had a question. The lease, we I know you said that you didn't renew a lease because she's been there for 3 years. But did you have a copy of the previous lease from about 2 years ago, maybe? Oh, you have a copy of the lease? Yeah. If you can if you could send me a copy of that lease to my email, or text it and screenshot it over to me, like we've been doing on text, and then I can take a look at it. We just would need that for our folder if we were to move forward. And she's a good paying tenant, you said, right? Okay. Never had a problem. That's perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's how it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're tired, and that's the thing. Just get rid of them. Yep, yep. And people say that owning rental properties is passive income, but really it's active. You have to be active in the field, because if there's something wrong, you have to be. Mm-hmm. As much I love to hear that. Hopefully one day when I'm older, I can get to that stage. I can get to that stage. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal. But okay, yeah. Did you have a price? Did you have a price you wanted for this one? Run it through Brittany. Okay. Perfect. 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 Well, Lario, we didn't talk about anything yet. I haven't contacted her yet. Wow, I'm getting ready to contact her literally as soon as we get off the phone. As soon as, because I just got off work. I got off work at about 5. Well, it's 5. Yeah, I got off work about. Yes, I work at Dollar Tree part time. Yeah, part time. I work at part time Dollar Tree. I'm a manager over there, and then I do this. Yes, ma'am. I keep things in control, keep everybody in check and running. And then after I get off from there, I go ahead and get into my own real estate business. It's just real estate isn't as consistent as I want it to be yet, to where I can just take all my time during the week and just put it into real estate and still be able to meet ends with bills and other things. So yeah, that's the. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Oh yeah. That's my plan, is to look into and get a quadplex. I'm trying to find one of those. See what I can do from there. and then work my way down and get 10 doors. The goal is 10 doors. 10 doors is the goal. 10 doors is the goal. Well, but look though, if talk to Brittany, let and yeah. And then I can get you an offer, and then yeah, you can talk to Brittany, and we'll see where you guys need to be and where we need to be, and we'll see if we can meet somewhere in the middle and make it work. And can you send me over that lease and I'll give L'Oreal, I'll let L'Oreal know the that Aaron came out. If you can just get some type of agreement with him or letter, I don't know, or anything, or if you can call L'Oreal and then explain to L'Oreal, that would be perfect. Maybe you can explain it better to her than I will. Perfect. And just to be clear, it was the gas valve they came out and replaced.
It was the gas valve from Ameren UE. They came out and repaired
repaired it for free. For free for you. Okay, perfect. I'm going. All right. Well, Miss Mary, it was good talking to you. I'm gonna call Ariel. We're gonna go over this stuff, and then hopefully we can get back in contact with you by tomorrow. That sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you. It was good talking to you. Enjoy your evening. All right, bye-bye. That's how you do it, boy. That's how you do it.
Why do you belong there? A lot of people that come there, you know, with money, that have made money, think they made it by accident. Right. I just had one of my superstars who's made $100 million tell me in the last week, you know, I'm not sure I'm going to have another lucky accident. And I said, you did it. I mean, you know, you tried a lot of things. I believe Thomas Edison, I wouldn't have done it 10,000 times. Okay. I would have hired an engineer from MIT to do it. But I mean, I've tried a lot of things. Nobody's failed at more things.
I should have asked her, where will we need to be to make this deal work?
I could write a book about failures that'd be, I mean, because I've tried a lot of different things. Because failure is just testing. And one of the reasons I've been so successful in generating this equity and value in my kids, and I call you all kids, is because I convince them that making a mistake is okay. Your parents probably told you, you can be anything you want, but you can't. That's horseshit. You can't. If it's all juxtaposed. So, but what you tell them is that you can do anything you want that you have passion for, because that eliminates most of the crap. Because most people don't follow their dream. You know, like they say in The Sound of Music, you can't have a dream come true unless you have a dream. Now, I still dream. I dream in Technicolor. I say my affirmations and goals every single night. It's bloody hard to be a high-performance person.
I'm here to talk about success. The first rule of success is to have a vision. You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere. I mean, as you know, I was born in 1947 in Austria after the Second World War. So I was very fortunate that I started my vision. And I didn't really like Austria when I grew up. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I couldn't see myself becoming a farmer or a worker in a factory or anything like that. Even though my parents wanted me to stay there and have a normal life. But that was their vision, not mine. My vision was totally different. I felt that I was born for something special, for something unique, for something big. Then one day I went to school. I remember I was 11 years old. And they showed a documentary about America. And there they showed in this documentary the huge skyscrapers, the high-rises, the huge bridges, the 6-lane freeways, and all of this stuff. And I said to myself, that's where I want to be. I don't want to be around here with these little farmhouses and these little buildings. I want to be in America. One day after school, I walked by a store in Graz, So I went inside and I looked around, and then I saw a magazine. I saw a bodybuilding magazine that had Reg Park on the cover. Reg Park was then a 3-time
Two things.
Mr.
Don't
Universe.
forget to email me.
And I saw him on the big screen as Hercules. I read that and I said to him,
Text me.
Compare your way there. Find the smartest credit cards for you.
Copy of the.
myself, wow, this is the blueprint for my life. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to become a bodybuilding champion just like Reg Park. I want to get into movies just like Reg Park. And I want to make millions of dollars and be rich and famous just like Reg Park. You know how great it felt that I knew where I was going? Imagine the majority of people don't know where they're going. I knew where I was going, that I'm going to become this bodybuilding champion just like him. So it was just a question of how do you do it? I was so relieved because when you have a goal, when you have a vision, everything becomes easy. So people always ask me, when they saw me in the gym in the pumping iron days, they say, why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. And I told people all the time, I said, because to me,
She said that the furnace was going out. Hey Larry, I just got married. She said that the furnace was going out.
so every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision turn into reality. Every single set that I do, every repetition, every weight that I lift will get me a step closer to turn this goal into reality. So I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound squat. I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound bench press. I couldn't wait to do another 2,000 reps of sit-ups. I couldn't wait for the next exercise. At the age of 20, I went to London and I won the Mr. Universe contest as the youngest Mr. Universe ever. And it was because I had a goal. So let me tell you something, visualizing your goal and going after it makes it fun. You got to have a purpose no matter what you do in life. You got to have a purpose. 74% hate their job in America. Now, this is not much different when you come to Europe. The majority of people don't like what they're doing because they're really not doing it because they didn't have a goal and they followed this goal. They just aimlessly drift around and then all of a sudden there's a job opening, so they get that job because you have to work. But then when you work, it's a chore. It's work. It's not fun. So if you think about only a quarter of the people really enjoy what they're doing in life, that is unbelievable if you think about it. So I felt so blessed that I knew what I was doing. It's like a medical student that studies and knows he wants to become a doctor. You know where to go. And the same thing is also in politics. I remember that in politics, I had a very clear vision that I will be the leader of California. This is as far as I could go because I was not born in America, so I could not run for president. So being the governor of the 5th largest state, I should say the largest state, the 5th largest economy in the world, was for me really
So I just got off
the
the
ultimate
phone.
title,
She said the
the
furnace
ultimate
was going
accomplishment in
because of
politics.
faulty gas valve
So
in the
even though
air.
people came up to me and says, why don't
Came
you
there
go
replace it for free of
and run for
charge.
something
I asked her
smaller,
because she gets
you're
a
never gonna make it.
notification that you repair
I ran
here.
for governor and then 2
In
months later I
addition-
became governor of the state of California. Again,
In
because
addition,
I had a very clear vision
to where
what I'm
the
gonna
house
do with
rules
California.
need to be updated. This
So
said that
that's rule number one,
right.
have a vision. Rule number two is don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the naysayers. Everything I ever did, the thing that I heard out of people's mouth was,
Yeah,
that's
not yet.
impossible. That can't be done. Or no. That is exactly what I heard, and of course I proved to the people that it can't be done. So whenever someone said to me, it can't be done, I heard it can be done. When they said no, I heard yes. And when they said it's impossible, I heard it is possible. I'm a strong believer of what Nelson Mandela said, that everything is always impossible until someone does it. Well, I'm gonna be the one that said to myself, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna show it to them. Maybe it has never been done before. That's perfectly fine with me. But I'm gonna do it. And I did not listen to the naysayers.
Success means different things to different people. For some, success might be financial achievements, becoming a millionaire, for example. For some, it might mean accolades. For sportsmen, it may mean trophies, championships, or medals. For some, being successful might simply mean achieving a state of wellness, health, or happiness. Whatever it means to you, take note of these 10 habits of all successful people. They apply to any area and
She says she's tired of being in, or she's at the either, she doesn't have the energy to
they set
these properties up
goals.
and running. She'd rather sell.
You've probably never met a successful person who doesn't set goals. Because the chances of you finding what you want.
I'm about to call you right now, Michael.
Forward are right
I'm about to
around
call
the
you right now, Michael. Don't worry.
If you don't know where you're going,
I'm about to call you right now, Michael. Don't worry, my boy.
setting goals should be the #1 priority for anyone seeking success. Define exactly what it is you want, your end goal. Break down exactly what is required to get there. Mini goals. Make sure your why, your reason for doing what you must do, is strong. So when you hit those roadblocks, when things go wrong, as they always do, you have the strength and purpose to keep going. #2, they take responsibility for their life. Another key attribute of all successful people is they take complete responsibility for the success and the failures in their life. Unlike the majority, they never play the victim role. If something doesn't work out, they don't blame others. They learn a lesson. Learn one more way not to do something and move on quickly. Your energy is always best spent in the present and planning for the future. Your thought process should always be, how can I make this work? And what can I learn from this? Never living in the past or making excuses as to why you aren't where.
It's called Michael.
Call has been forwarded to an.
Because he don't know my number yet.
That will be beneficial for your future. It is much easier to have discipline if you have clear goals and a meaningful purpose. Something that is much more important than meaningless distractions. #4, they are obsessed with self-development. You can't really claim to be successful if you have given up working on yourself. This doesn't mean you are never satisfied, just that you know it is human nature to want to grow and learn new things. Be open to learn new things and develop your mind through mentors, audiobooks, and reading. The more you learn, the more you will earn, financially and spiritually. #5, they read a lot. Reading is a common pastime of many highly successful people. The majority these days can't sit alone for 2 minutes without becoming bored, picking up their phone to go on social media, probably to post about how bored they are. Successful people, however,
Hey, Michael is on the host.
always happy to be
It's St.
alone.
Louis. We spoke an email this morning.
To have the opportunity to read listen to something that will benefit their mind and their future. If you're not a reader, try audiobooks. You can play them in your car, in the gym, or while you shower. And use time that might normally be wasted to gain new skills, new strengths. Number 6.
Wanted to reach out and introduce myself and say I'm happy to have you.
Time management is essential to success. Unsuccessful people usually get stressed and overwhelmed when they're
That's how we do it.
on their to-do list. Successful people are rarely phased. They prioritize the big payoff and most rewarding tasks first and leave the insignificant ones to last, knowing it matters most to do the most valuable tasks first. Successful people plan in advance, days, weeks, months ahead, knowing clearly what needs to be done to complete their jobs and reach their goals. Number 7, they take risks. If you don't buy a ticket, you can't win the raffle. If you don't take big risks, you can't achieve big rewards. Successful people know that there will be times they will need to take risks in order to get where they need to go. Often, most people won't take those same risks for fear of failure. However, the greater failure to successful people would be that of regret. Risk going for the life you want, or guarantee living with one you don't want. Number 8, they keep going when they suffer failure and setbacks. We all suffer setbacks. Every single person that attempts to live their dream life will suffer through failure. Many of them might even lose everything. Most quit. The successful never quit. They keep going, knowing their greatest character is formed in adversity, knowing their success story is being written in every moment. And it will be especially good now they have a comeback story. Number 9, they find a way to win. Successful people find a way, period. Whatever life throws their way, they deal with it, dodge it, smash through it. Whatever is required, they find a way to win. It's the whatever it takes mentality. It's the confidence in knowing whatever happens, I will give my all and leave nothing on the table. I will find a way to win. Number 10, they do what they love. If you're not doing what you love, you can't really claim yourself a success. Spending the majority of your working hours, also known as the majority of your life, doing things you hate for money is not successful living. It's torture to the soul. If you need to suffer doing something you don't like to get to a life you love, do that. But do not lose sight of exactly that. Your ultimate purpose. Find your life purpose. Think of all the things you love to do more than anything in the world. Then brainstorm how you can turn those passions into profit. Doing what you love every day. Even if you were taking a pay cut, it will be worth it. Do what you love every day, and you will never work a day in your life.
I wrote a book called The Millionaire Booklet. I wrote that book in 2 hours. It was translated to 38 languages for free because of my social media standing around the world. I just asked a bunch of people, can you help me? 38 languages, and literally in 1 month the whole book was produced, written, translated. Like, you need friends.
Counterintuitive, 50-page pamphlet type book you're making, not the New York Times bestseller.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from? Another contrarian idea.
Again, like the book publishers, you know, they're dying. They're come on, man.
How you feel about
antiquated that?
You don't even count digital downloads. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right. So give them something they can read in a couple hours.
It took me 19 months to write my last book because of the publisher was involved. Okay, I'm not supposed to write a book while I'm writing a book. So I wrote a booklet. Okay? Wrote the booklet in 2 hours. The booklet made more money in
25
days than the other book made in 19 months. And was translated in 38 languages. The other book that took 19 months, publishers, editors, you know, all this energy, all this wasted freaking energy and money, still hasn't been translated. So speed, see, I'm now back to how fast can I work?
That's covering closing costs.
Time is money.
Yeah.
Most people don't even understand the concept. Like, what does that even mean?
They say it, but they don't know what it means.
Yeah. Oh, it's a cute saying. It's a perfect T-shirt.
But they're not actually applying it to their life.
No, they're like, what does that mean, man? What does it mean? Time is money, right?
All right, let's call. Cash. But that's without us covering the closing costs. If we cover the closing costs, in that more. So we're really sitting at 2 options right now. Let's see. Okay, so we gotta go over it. Him is Mary, so we sitting at 2 options right now. We either can, we're at 27,000 with us covering without us closing costs, and with us not closing costs. The other one was a 4-bed. Concord was a 4-bed, I think. Huh. That's part of negotiating. She already knows it because I don't know, but I'm about to throw out 25 to 27. So him is married, so I just talked it over with my team. We're looking at like 27,000 without us covering closing costs, and 25 with us closing costs. How many bedrooms was this house? I'm trying to see how many bedrooms was 8455 Concord Place. I'm looking for how much was my assignment fee, bruh? I'm looking for the assignment. Hey, Miss Mary. So we're looking at so I just talked it over. We're looking at, just talked over with my team. 27,000 cash with you covering closing costs. Now, if you want us to cover closing costs, we're gonna be at more around 25, depending on what best works for you. Cause we covered your closing. All right, let's see. Hello, hey Miss Mary. Yes, I was just calling you back because I just talked it over with my team, and we were thinking we had two offers for you now. Now the first offer is 27,000 cash with you covering the closing costs. Now the second offer is 25,000 cash with us covering your closing costs. We wanted to see where how can we make this work? Would you like us to cover the closing costs, or will you be able to handle them?
Well, I can handle anything. You must not know me.
Oh no. You must not know about me.
If I want to do it,
Yeah, if you want to do it.
let me talk it over with my husband first, and then
Yeah.
I will call you back and let you know.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect. Just reach back out to me and let me know.
I will.
All right, thanks, Miss Mary. Bye bye. $27K with her covering closing costs and $25K with us covering closing costs. Her covering closing costs. All right, beam. Beam. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
do this. I could do this forever. Well, then it's okay to go to re-engage, pick up your phone, go see your friends, go have a drink, what have you. Go look for those things that are other relationships in life. But hopefully not until. There's great value in not.
All right, let me call this next person. We gotta call this next person.
Now, why do you pursue things that scare you? Why seek the role that's hard?
Because it costs me something.
Let's call Ahmed.
Cost.
Oh, we gotta put Ahmed in the.
To pick that line, don't pick a fight. It's not really a fight unless you can lose it. It's not really, it's not really a risk unless you can lose the fight. I feel more alive in them. I have an experience in the making of them. I'm nervous every day I come to work. I feel like when I nail a day and I knock it and I know I did, I feel like, yes. I have a measure at the end of the day of like, you set out to do something, you prepared for it, you had intention, and you did it. And maybe even found some magic in the day. That, I sleep good knowing that I accomplished that day in building the architecture of a character's arc through a story. And then if I could put the whole thing together and it comes out, the whole performance turns out to be a beautiful song, an original song of that character, then I'm like, yes. And I know that I was highly responsible for that. I was not solely responsible, but the most responsible for that. And that gives me pleasure. That gives me gratification. That makes me feel, gives me significance. That gives me confidence. If I don't pull it off, and I do have a day where I'm like, no, you didn't.
Hey, let's call Ahmed, right? We gonna call Ahmed.
Kind of roles, I can look in the mirror and go,
Ahmed. What's up, Ahmed? We got Ahmed logged in. Yo, where he at? Kansas. Let's call Ahmed.
Thank you for your call. Please press 1 to be connected to the party you're calling. System. 3, 1.
We straight.
Really? It may be spectacular, it may be phenomenal, most excellent or outstanding, but unbelievable? Give others and yourself more credit. It just happened. You witnessed it. You just did it. Believe it. Give your obstacles credit.
that there's a responsibility to freedom and that there is freedom in responsibility. You know, and that earn your way there. We remember the stuff we earn, the stuff we experience, more than what the teacher tells us or what someone gives us for free. We just do. We broke a proverbial sweat on it, whether it was mental or physical or whatever. We built it. We understand. We felt how we got it, how we achieved it, how we got what we wanted. Those stick with us. Whether we forget them intellectually, they were written in our lineage, and they build resilience, and they build a healthy, true optimism going forward to know that, oh no, I've worked for something before and achieved it. Delayed gratification. Oh, there are choices I can make today for myself that will pay me back later in life. So there are choices we make. If you're gonna say right now, I'm gonna lie, cheat, and steal to get what I want, and I got it. I got an immediate green light for me. That's a battery-powered green light. That's not a solar-powered green light. Why? Because now, everywhere I go, I got to look over my shoulder to see if someone's there that I lied, cheated, and stole from. And when I'm doing that, I'm stealing whose time? My time. Now I'm not freedom. I'm not free. I don't have the freedom. I didn't create freedom in my future because I chose to make an irresponsible act that I left crumbs.
Dang it, Lario. Why you send me those pictures right now, bro?
Things we do to create.
You should have been sent these pictures.
The more of our most precious thing we have in our lives, time, that we're stealing from ourselves. So it's not puritanical. It's just like, it's actually self-serving. It's a very selfish choice. And I'm a fan of the word selfish. I've helped redefine it. But I believe that there are selfish choices we can make that are the most selfless, that there are selfless choices that we can make that are the most selfish choices. Those two are not a contradiction, and we see them that way. Responsibility is appreciation of a past. It's building of a lineage. It's investing in ourselves. It's investing in something we started to build yesterday that we want to take into tomorrow. There's a response that gives us freedom.
These people that you're comparing yourself to, you don't really know very well. What that means is that you see their shiny outside, but you don't see the reality of their life. There's always people out there who are doing far better than you on pretty much anything you want to imagine. And if all you're doing is seeing yourself in their reflected light, let's say, then it's going to be pretty damn dismal. But it's not a good comparison because, well, first of all, there's danger in just comparing yourself to others. Period is they're not you, and God only knows what struggles they had to undertake to get to where they were, or what burdens they're currently carrying that you're not aware of. But you can certainly contrast yourself with yourself, and that's a lot better. It is the only way. Well, it's also the only way of really measuring anything approximating proper improvement. You can actually tell when you're a little better than you were yesterday.
Right.
And you can actually do that. That's another thing that's so interesting about it, is that you can actually make yourself a little better in some way, pretty much, well, I don't know if it's at every moment, but you can certainly do it every day. Be careful who you share good news with, because you want to share good news with people who are going to be genuinely happy for you, and be careful who you share bad news with, because that's equally tricky. You want someone who will listen to you when you're having trouble and allow you your grief. Beauty calls people to their higher being, I would say, and to make friends with beauty is to introduce yourself very carefully to one of the mysteries of life that make it worth living. There's never been a better time for the majority of people to be alive, and the future, although we're vulnerable and terrible things can always happen to us, it's hard to make a case that the future doesn't look comparatively positive. We're becoming extremely technologically sophisticated, and the world is changing at an incredibly rapid rate, and the only way we're going to be able to manage that in a positive way is if each of us, or as many of us as possible, are capable of making wise and careful and truthful decisions. And if we do that, then maybe things can continue to improve. You don't get people to stand up on their own 2 feet and to adopt responsibility if everything is given to them. And that's a real conundrum. You know, maybe you're in California, see someone
via email
in a convertible Porsche, and you think, oh man, what a lucky bastard. And the truth of the matter is that he's thinking about wrapping his expensive sports car around the next cement pillar that he comes close to. You know, you can't tell, and people have hard lives, and even people who are comparatively fortunate have hard lives. And the ideal that you're observing that makes you jealous and resentful is in large part an illusion that's created by your own mind. You have to be careful of what you're jealous of, because you don't really know what it is. And then the other thing that's kind of useful is to understand you're quite different from other people, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to them, because they're not like you. They don't have your family. They don't have your temperament. They don't have your troubles. They don't have your abilities. The only person that has those is you. One of the rules, I think it's rule 4, is compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not to who someone else is today. And see, that's a game you can win. The possibility that you can make yourself slightly better on a continual basis is, I think that's something that's accessible to everyone. I think that's equivalent to leading a virtuous life. And there is something to be said for virtue and truth. You know, and that is one thing. Another thing that I've noticed about people who've been phenomenally successful is that they really do everything they can to live a truthful life. And you can get a bloody long ways by being honest. You got to know that there are differences in intelligence. It's really important. If you go into a job and you're not smart enough for that job, you're going to have one bloody miserable time. And you're going to make life wretched for the people around you, because you won't be able to handle the position. But what you really want to do is...
Let's call Chris. Hello, is this Chris?
It is.
Hey, Chris, how's it going? My name is Ron. We spoke in email earlier this morning, and I just got off work, man. So I'm responding to all my emails now. But I wanted to say thank you for responding, and I see you purchased properties in St. Louis, correct?
Uh-huh.
St. Louis, you need about 30 days to close, and you're more of a buy and hold investor?
Yep.
Okay, I got you, man. You got any areas you just don't like out there in St. Louis?
I like South. Well, all my stuff in South City.
All of your properties are in South City? Okay. So nothing in North City, really?
No,
Okay. Perfect. Well, Chris, I'm in Florida. So when I come across properties, they might not be exactly where you want them to be, but they will for sure be in St. Louis. So if anything, I'll just shoot you a text with the address and you can just respond with a nay or yay. And if it's something you want to move forward with, we can set something up where you can go and walk it in person. And then yeah, we can go from there. You can maybe give me an offer. Yes, sir, for sure. I'll keep you on the line. I'll let you know. Take care. You have a good day. My name is Ron, by the way. Take care, Chris. Bye. Oh, that's how you be a salesman, boy.
And maybe also your drug and alcohol use, because that's a good place to auger down, and that tangles in your incentive reward system. We talked about the dopaminergic incentive reward system, and that's the thing that keeps you moving forward. And the way it works is that it works better if it produces positive emotion when it can see you moving towards a valued goal. Okay, well, what's the implication of that? Better have a valued goal, because otherwise you can't get any positive motivation. Most creative people fail at producing their creative product and monetizing it, right? So your default position, if you're a creative person, is you're going to fail. And that's because it's hard to come up with something new, and it's hard to present it to the market at the right time, and it's hard to market it. Like, those things are really, really difficult. And so what successful entrepreneurs do is they just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And eventually, if they're fortunate, one of their ideas happens to hit the right place at the right time. Even if your idea is good, that doesn't mean it will be successful. There's so many things that have to be taken into account. So this is partly why persistence, and that's part of conscientiousness, is so useful. It's like persistence is helpful because it enables you to run many, many experiments. And you need to know that the baseline is failure. It's important, because otherwise you'll blame that on yourself. And some of that's useful because there's probably some things that you could improve about yourself. But it's very difficult to go from 0 to 1.
The lion has what I call the spirit of leadership. And this word spirit here is referring to attitude. A leader has an attitude that makes him or her different from followers. And the lion exhibits that attitude. We have to cultivate the same attitudes that the lion has, because the lion apparently has been given the same attitudes that God himself identifies with, and he put it in these creatures. It doesn't matter how big you are, how intelligent you are, how many degrees you get. It's your mind that keeps you small.
Thicken your skin. Become more of a human being. Don't be afraid of the reflection in the mirror, because that's all you can be afraid of. Once you overcome the reflection in the mirror, you've done it.
If the lion is the king of the jungle, how can he be the king of the jungle? If he's not the biggest, the elephant is probably one of the biggest. He can't be the fastest, because that's a cheetah. He can't be the smartest, so he's not the biggest, the fastest, or the smartest. So how does a lion become the king of the jungle? His mentality. That's the only difference of a lion and an elephant. When a lion walks up and sees an elephant, he thinks lunch. An elephant thinks run. And it's all mentality. Because when a male lion walks up, he may be outnumbered by a pack of hyenas, but I'm king of my jungle because of my mentality.
Look at this lion. He's the king of the jungle. He's so big. Now, the little lion comes, they start messing with him. Biting his tail, biting his ears. He doesn't do anything. The lioness, she starts messing with him. Now, the other animals, they notice this, and they start to move in. The jackals, hyenas, they're barking at him, laughing at him. They nip his toes and eat the food that's in his domain. They do this, and they get closer and closer and bolder, till one day, that lion gets up and tears the shit out of everybody, runs like the wind, eats everything in his path. Because every once in a while, The lion has to show the jackals who he is. It's too late to be scared. It's time to kill.
Every day in Africa, in the safari, a lion wakes up. Every single day in the safari, a lion wakes up, right? And every single day in the safari, a gazelle wakes up. It says that if you wake up and you're a gazelle, you realize if you're going to survive as a gazelle, if you're going to survive, you must outrun the slowest gazelle.
Fuck being a gazelle, I'm a lion.
In your mind, you're thinking you gotta outrun the fastest lion. That's not the truth. You just gotta stay ahead of the slow gazelle. That's it. Every single day when you wake up, whatever it is that you do professionally, you better make sure you're not in the back of the pack. You better be as close to the front, if not up front, as possible, because every single day when the lion wakes up, it's only one thing on that lion's mind, and that is catching the gazelle that couldn't keep up. What the gazelle realizes is that the way it operates, that the way it performs, that the way it goes about its daily business is contingent upon life and death. That if that gazelle does not do what he or she is supposed to do, it will be eaten by a lion. Even if you are a lion and you have the advantage that when the sun comes up, if you are a gazelle or a lion, you better get to running. Because if you are a lion, a gazelle is still not going to come to you and say, just eat me. I don't care how deep you are as a lion. When you wake up, nothing is going to come to you. Nobody's going to give you anything. They're still not giving stuff to ET. I still have to work. I still have to fly 20 hours to get to Australia. I still have to go to London. I still have to do free stuff in Detroit. I still have to drive. I'm a lion. And when the sun comes up, I still have to get to running.
It's hard for people to be themselves. They don't like themselves. They don't like what they are, and so they like to pretend that there's something more exceptional. You know, but what people really seem to enjoy is people who don't do that. People seem to really enjoy people who just work at being a better person, being better at life. You can learn a lot from someone about how much attention they spend on other people's failures, how much time they spend pointing out other people's failures, and how little time they spend reflecting on their own. The bright side of tragedy. So when you come through it, you really will have an appreciation for the moments without tragedy. You don't really feel it unless unless life burns you. You don't really feel it. Understand that you can struggle, and you can realize that sometimes when things are really hard to do, you think, oh my God, I gotta stop doing this. But once you do it and you complete it, you have a satisfaction, this sense of satisfaction that you did something really difficult that is irreplaceable. I think the idea that's important is action. Do things.
Yes.
Actually do things. to procrastinate and sit around and debate things forever before anything gets done. Yeah, there's a proper balance though of enough action and enough thinking. That's what I like about physical pursuits, man. You find out who the fuck you are. You know, you find out whether or not you're that person who can keep going, whether you're that person who is consistent. So many people, they start off like, I'm gonna run a mile a day, and they run a mile a day for a couple weeks and they fuck off. You know, it's consistency. Just showing up when you don't want to show up, forcing yourself to do things you don't want to, but then reaping the rewards. I think also stepping away from the hum of civilization is good too, because whether we like it or not, we're caught up in the hum of civilization in a way that it's almost impossible to measure. It's happening to you if you're in traffic. It's happening to you when you're around large groups of people. There's a constant inundation of input from other folks. And when you're in the woods, one of the first things that you realize, especially when you sit down and you look out over a large ridge and valleys, you see the mountains behind it, you realize this stuff doesn't give a fuck about me.
Right.
It's been here long before me. It'll be here long after I'm gone.
Perspective.
Yeah. It's the ultimate perspective enhancer. And, you know, it's just, you just look around, you just see these things that are out here hustling. Just birds looking for shit to eat, and animals looking to eat a bird, and, you know, and then other birds flying around looking for animals that are, you know, eating on the ground. It's crazy. It's something that if you're not accustomed to it, it's not a normal experience for you. When you get out there and you soak it all in, and you are in the forest and you are in nature, it's very humbling, very humbling. It just puts it in perspective. Like, you're just a part of this insanely huge ecosystem. And these cities and this hum, this unnatural thing that we've created that we really haven't adjusted to yet. It's not good to spend that much time in that, because also you can get caught up in the way everybody else thinks. And they're not always necessarily thinking in a way that's beneficial for you or for them. I don't think we're programmed to be steady and stable, because I don't think there's never a time in human history where life has been like super peaceful and easygoing. Like, you have these little kind of breaks where no one's coming over the hill with a sword and a fucking gang of barbarians.
The orcs are not reading
for
a little while.
So you get a little break, and that's part of what people appreciate about life, is those breaks. But you have to have the chaos too. And I think it's kind of built into the system that there is always going to be this up and down. And I think it's also built into the way you interface with life, you know? You're not always gonna feel great. You're gonna have weird days, you know. But those weird days where things are shitty, one of the things it does is it really makes you appreciate the good days. And I think if every day is too good, that's the problem with people that are on like certain medications that sort of make everything a 7 or a 6 all day, every day. It's just gray and pale and boring.
Yeah.
And there's no ups and no downs. There's no nothing. It's just flat.
I'll take the life of the poet, the 1s and the 10s, those screaming, blistering 10s, and those fucking heart-wrenching 1s. Like, for sure, I'll sign up for that. What else are we gonna do? Try and just ride out the middle ground? Like, that's just less interesting to me.
There's a lot of lessons in those 1s. You know,
the biggest ones.
You come out of those like a different person. Like, you learn things. Your mind has to seek discomfort. It has to seek these difficult tasks. You have to enjoy it. And you have to figure out a way to make your mind enjoy those things. And some people it comes easy, and some people it doesn't. Some people it takes a long time. I always tell people the best thing you could ever do is force yourself to a schedule. Just write it down. Like, today I have to do an hour on the treadmill. I have to do an hour, no matter what. Even if you're fucking walking on it, you're doing an hour on a treadmill. The next time you're going to do it, okay, you did an hour and this is the amount of miles you got in. Next time you're going to, add 3 miles. Put an extra 3 miles in that 1 hour. And just keep doing things like that. Write down, today I'm going to do 100 push-ups, and I'm going to do 100 sit-ups, and I'm going to do 100 chin-ups. That's today. And then force yourself. Force yourself to adhere to a schedule. Make a Monday, Wednesday, Friday workout schedule. Give yourself some time off, Like, don't even crush yourself to the point where you can't do it. Make it so that you really appreciate those Tuesdays and Thursdays. But on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're gonna fucking get after it. And this is what you're gonna do. Most people just try to go work out. and you're kind of aimless, and you show up and you pick up the jump rope and you jump a little rope, maybe you hit the heavy bag a little bit, maybe you do some curls, but you don't really have an aim, you know? That's why people like to hire trainers, because a trainer will tell you what to do. Well, you can tell yourself what to do. If you don't have money for a trainer, you don't even have to have fucking equipment. You know, with bodyweight squats, sit-ups, chin-ups, push-ups, you can kick your fucking ass. You could give yourself a brutal full bodyweight workout. And you can find these for free on YouTube. There's a ton of them. There's a ton of these bodyweight workouts you can do. Just force yourself. Write it down. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to do 100 push-ups. I'm going to do 100 chin-ups. I'm going to do 100 sit-ups. Even if it takes me all fucking day. Even if I have to do 10 and 10 and 10 and keep going all day, just that's what you do. Do 10 push-ups.
Good day today, man. Hey, listen, man. I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here, man. We had a good day today. Did some emails, responded to some emails, made some phone calls and phone calls today, man. I'm getting out of here, man. I got some more shit to do in my day, bro. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Y'all make sure y'all keep grinding and let's get this motherfucking money.